Hi fight fans, and welcome to another MMA fighting video. Over half a year has passed since Leon Edwards shot the lights off Kamaru Usman, shocking the fight fans by knocking out the pound-for-pound fighter in the world. The two are scheduled for a trilogy fight to settle the score, and the Nigerian Nightmare sent a chilling message to Leon Edwards ahead of their fight, stating that he only felt like this 3 times in the past. The UFC 286 event is on the horizon, and it promises to deliver fireworks considering all the scheduled exciting matchups. Besides Leon vs. Usman, the co-main event between Justin Gaethje and Rafael is nothing less interesting, and we might be looking at a potential fight of the night bout. After departing from the UFC, it was uncertain what move Darren Till would make next. However, he seems to hint a transition to boxing, and a possible fight against Logan Paul might be in the works. Let's dive into it. Kamaru Usman threatens violent revenge. Although Edwards brutally knocked out Usman in their previous fight, the Nigerian remained humble and composed in defeat and started preparing for their trilogy. The admirable thing about that was that he never seemed bothered by the loss and stayed focused on retaking what once belonged to him, the welterweight belt. In a recent interview, he revealed that he only felt violent 3 times leading to a bout, and every time he felt that way, it ended terribly for his opponents.
I felt violent going into 3 fights. I felt violent going into the Sergio Moraes fight because I kept asking for a top 15, and I felt disrespected that the UFC matchmakers kept giving me guys like that weren't in the top 15. I felt very, very violent and resentful, and I wanted to show that. And we saw what happened.
Before this bout, the Nigerian Nightmare fought 5 times and never won any of them by a knockout. However, when he met Sergio Moraes in the octagon, Kamaru brutally knocked out the Brazilian in the first round.
I fought Colby Covington the first time. We all know how that buildup was, what he said, what he done. All around the world, I felt very violent, and I wanted to get violent. Me and Colby were best wrestlers, arguably in the company, and we didn't wrestle at all because I felt violent. I wanted to get violent, and we saw how that fight went.
Usman continued, remembering his bitter rivalry with Colby Covington. According to Usman, he decided to stand and bang with Colby because he wanted to unleash his violence, and therefore he was able to knock the American out in their second bout.
And I fought Jorge Masvidal the second time. With all that happened, we both, you guys are failing to understand, we both flew across the world. And I was the only one who I trained for a completely different guy. He caught COVID, and I don't even want to disclose what the injuries that I was going through before that fight. I actually had to quarantine in Vegas, didn't sleep. I literally in 4 days, and I fought in the morning, and I dominated him. And then after that fight, it's when you got all the excuses, and it upset me to where I felt violent in that second fight. And we all saw what happened.
Usman elaborated, recalling how badly his previous 3 opponents ended every time he felt violent, leading to a fight. The Nigerian Nightmare finished his thoughts, sending a chilling threat to his current rival, Leon Edwards, indicating that this fight will not be any different than the previously mentioned.
And in this fight, I'm starting to get that feeling. Some fights you want to be clean and get out of there and not feel anything. This fight, I want to feel it all.
This was not the first time Kamaru addressed his defeat and warned Leon about their upcoming fight. On a Pivot podcast, he reminded his rival that he was winning that fight before the kick.
It's going to be a little bit more difficult this time. In his head, he forgot what happened 4 rounds before that. He's like, yeah, I landed the kick. I'm a champ. I'm good. But he forgot what happened. You forgot that I was taking your soul. And so I have to remind him who he is. A guy that has let somebody take your soul twice. And I'm gonna take it in London.
Let's not forget that Kamaru and Leon fought twice in the past. The Nigerian Nightmare was too much for Rocky to handle in the first fight. He mixed his superior wrestling with striking and defeated the Jamaican fighter via unanimous decision. Leon had no answer for Usman's attacks, and it seemed that the second fight would not be any different. Although in that bout, Usman implemented his game plan well and was dominating Leon on the scorecards. Rocky landed a perfectly timed high kick that sent the Nigerian fighter to the Shadow Realm. Regarding the high kick, Usman has nothing but good words and acknowledgement for that move.
Of course, he has a head kick. I know a head kick's coming, block the head kick, I drill that, of course, drill it repetition, so I can see it in my sleep. So of course I trained for that, but it was just a good kick.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, it was something that I know that I did wrong, not necessarily wrong, didn't do as well. And it was just a beautiful kick. hats off to him.
Before we move on to the next topic, let's analyze what happened in their previous fight. And by the way, if you like the video so far, don't forget to hit that like button. On August 20th, 2022, Leon Edwards met the pound-for-pound #1 fighter Kamaru Usman. The Nigerian Nightmare was a big favorite going into the fight for a good reason. He held one of the longest active winning streaks in the organization, and it seemed that nobody could stop him in the octagon. Considering that these two fighters had already met in the past, and Kamaru had become even better, not many people were giving Edwards a chance to win. Sure enough, it looked like he was underdog for a reason when Kamaru mixed his superior wrestling and pressure against the cage to neutralize Leon's attacks. The Nigerian Nightmare was attacking Leon from the clinch, taking him down at will, and he was winning the first 3 rounds on the judges' scorecards. Leon started gaining momentum in the 4th round, and when that round ended, his coach gave him one of the best motivational speeches in UFC history. Sure enough, living up to his nickname Rocky, Edwards entered the 5th round as he had nothing to lose. Leon threw a 1-2 combination for 5 rounds, and Usman defended it well. Each time Leon threw that combination, the champ would duck to his right side to avoid the left cross, since the challenger is a southpaw fighter. Leon saw that, and finally in the 5th round, he threw the right jab, faked the left cross while the champ ducked to his right to defend it, and then Leon threw a precisely calculated high kick that put Kamaru to sleep. That was anything but a lucky shot. That was an excellently calculated kick meant to knock his opponent out. The current champ, Leon Edwards, showed everyone that he could end the fight at any given moment and deserves all the respect. That leads to the question, would Usman be the same dominant fighter after such a loss? We've been witnessing fighters with granite chins getting knocked out for the first time and their chins getting weakened after that. From a physical point of view, Usman's chin may not be as enduring and strong as before after receiving a flashy KO. Speaking of this, Kamaru is confident that his defeat will not affect him. According to him, although an ordinary fighter would be badly affected by a knockout loss like that, he sees himself as extraordinary and will return better than ever. UFC 286 Co-Main Event. While all eyes are pointed at the main event, Leon vs. Usman, the co-main event between Justin Gaethje and Rafael promises to be the most exciting fight on the whole card. The #3 lightweight contender meets the #6 in a battle that will surely deliver. Rafael is on a 6-fight winning streak, and his last 5 bouts were all spectacles that earned him either knockout of the night or fight of the night bonuses. His opponent, Gaethje, is not any different. The highlight fought 10 times in the UFC and earned as many post-fight bonuses. This fight is a bad matchup for Gaethje considering his preferred fighting style. Although Justin possesses solid wrestling credentials and he started his career as a wrestler, he prefers to go toe-to-toe with his opponents, no matter how good they are on their feet. Rafael is a Muay Thai specialist who outstriked every UFC opponent he fought. He'd won 8 out of his 12 victories via knockout, and considering his last fight against Rafael dos Anjos, he proved that he had the cardio to go for 5 rounds and knock his opponent out in the last minutes of the bout. Justin must mix his wrestling with striking to win his fight against Fiziev. However, judging by his previous fights, he never preferred that style, and we can surely expect that he would go toe-to-toe with the Muay Thai specialist. Although Fiziev might be the better striker, Justin's toughness and endurance are off the charts. And that's why this fight will be very close and deliver fireworks. Logan Paul vs. Darren Till in boxing. After losing 5 of his last 6 fights in the UFC, the English fighter Darren Till departed with the company, and fight fans were wondering what's next for the Liverpudlian. Rumors started spreading that he would switch to boxing and make his boxing debut against Jake's older brother, Logan Paul. The YouTuber announced his plans to return to the boxing ring, and at the same time, the controversial figure, Dylan Danis, posted a tweet hinting at these two fighting. "He ran from me to go fight 1-5 Darren Till," tweeted Danis regarding Logan Paul's next move before removing the statement. There's still no official confirmation this fight will ever capitalize, but considering that such an event would be an entertaining spectacle, it should not be a surprise if Till and Paul reach an agreement soon. And what do you guys think? How will the fight trilogy between Leon vs. Usman go? And what do you predict about Gaethje vs. Fiziev? Do you believe Darren Till would succeed in boxing? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you'd like to watch more content like this, please make sure to like and subscribe.